The 49ers just lost 19-17 to the Cleveland Browns and their third-string quarterback, P.J. Walker. Here are the 49ers grades for this performance. Brock Purdy, D+. Forget about Purdy winning the MVP this season. This performance takes him out of consideration. Today, he looked like just a guy. He did not look elite. He was 12 for 27 for 125 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He also threw 2 other passes that nearly got picked, plus the ball slipped out of his hand once as he was throwing and he fell on it. Purdy couldn't grip the ball in the rain and he couldn't throw it effectively through the wind. That doesn't bode well for later in the season. To be fair, Purdy led a nice come-from-behind drive that would have won the game at the end, but Jake Moody missed a 41-yard field goal. More on him in a minute. Still, the game never should have been that close, and it was close primarily because Purdy played so poorly. It was by far the worst performance of his career. But every good quarterback has bad games. Don't write off Purdy because of today. Running backs. C. Christian McCaffrey had his second rough game in a row. He averaged just 3.9 yards per carry, then left with an oblique injury. It's really too bad the 49ers overused him and wore him down the first 5 games of the season. His backup, Jordan Mason, averaged 5.4 yards per carry and scored a touchdown. He was terrific. The other backup, Elijah Mitchell, lost 3 yards on 2 carries. The Niners need to stop playing him. Wide receivers, C-. Deebo Samuel had 2 carries for 11 yards and no catches before leaving the game with a shoulder injury. Brandon Ayuk had 76 yards, but caught just 4 of 10 targets and dropped at least 3. He needs to make those catches to be considered elite. Tight ends. F. George Kittle had 1 catch for 1 yard and a false start penalty. Not his best day. Offensive linemen. D. They got pushed around by Dalvin Tomlinson and Myles Garrett. Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, and Spencer Burford all committed penalties. Defensive linemen. B. Randy Gregory made an instant impact as he recorded his first sack with the 49ers in his first game with the team. He's a clear upgrade over Drake Jackson and Cleveland Farrell. Nick Bosa also recorded a sack, but this group also struggled against the run as the Browns averaged 4.7 yards per carry. Linebackers. B. Fred Warner recorded his second interception of the season. He's the best coverage linebacker I've ever seen. He's like a big safety. But he and the rest of the linebackers struggled to stop the run, mostly because Dre Greenlaw didn't play. Greenlaw clearly is the 49ers' hardest-hitting linebacker. Defensive backs. B. They give up a passer rating of 45.2, and Diamador Lenore picked off a pass and returned it to the Browns' 8-yard line, which set up the Niners' second touchdown of the game. But they also gave up 108 receiving yards to Amari Cooper and committed 2 critical penalties on the Browns' final drive of the game, which set up the game-sealing field goal. To be fair, those calls were borderline. Special teams. F. Jake Moody missed 2 of his 3 field goal attempts, including a 41-yarder with 9 seconds left that would have essentially won the game. He's the biggest reason the Niners lost, even bigger than Purdy, who played poorly. Moody was abysmal. The Niners probably regret not re-signing Robbie Gould. They should give him a call. He's still a free agent. Coaches. C. Steve Wilks did a good job, although he was facing a third-string quarterback. Still, the Niners defense gave up just 19 points. Usually, that's good enough to win. But not today, because the offense and special teams were so bad. The Niners should have scored 23 points, but missed 2 field goals. Still, 23 points isn't good. Kyle Shanahan got outcoached by his counterpart, Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. The Niners averaged just 3.9 yards per play. Not good. Shanahan had a brilliant opening script which produced a touchdown, but nothing he tried worked after that as the Niners scored just 14 points the rest of the game. He clearly didn't have his team ready to play, considering they started a fight with the Browns before the game, then committed 12 penalties during the game. They took last week's game against the Cowboys much more seriously. This one was an emotional letdown. So sure, the Niners are still a good team, but are they really the best team in the league? If they can't beat P.J. Walker and the Browns, can they really beat the Eagles or the Chiefs? Stay tuned.